Hello everyone, this is Possessed Robot in the second half of the tutorial on Raijin. And what you're seeing right now is the flux. And what I'm going to say right now is what kind of a battler I am. I am a balanced type player. I prefer all three: brawler type, mid-range technical type, and long-range sniper type weapons. And since this is about Raijin, you can use pretty much all of them in the lower leagues. The higher you go, the more you're going to want to use sniper type weapons. And Flux is a sniper type. Like I said in the previous video, this is a definite must. As for the higher you go. Am I going to get two of them for my Raijin? Since I'm in Diamond League, you better believe I am. This is a definite must. I'm not a brawler, a full-blown brawler like most other Champion League players. Like I mentioned in the previous video, I am a balanced type. Pretty much everything. So this weapon is perfect for those of you who are sniper type, or even mid-range type. Let's go on to the next one, which is coming up here. Aim-style shield is a definite must the higher the league you go, especially in Champions League, for the mid-range weapons and most definitely the short range. But I would not take a risk on the short range weapons in higher leagues from expert to champions. Zeus, it's the same thing. I mean, it's a mid-range, but I would use an aim-style shield with it. You're taking an awful risk unless you stay at the maximum range of what it uses. If you're going to go short range with this, use an aim-style shield. Raijin's not a brawler in the higher leagues. It just gets squashed, even with a weapon like this. You're taking an awful risk. Have I used Zeus on Raijin? Yeah, I have, and I'm in the Diamond League. I sometimes get my butt kicked with this weapon, but I still have fun using it. My Zeus are not very powerful, but I do have fun, and that's the name of the game, is having fun. So the higher league you go, the more you're only going to want to use one of these with an aim-style shield, if you want to risk it. Unless you stay the distance, then you can use two. Avenger, it's a mid-range technical weapon. You can use it in brawling. I use this in my Beacon Rush hangar for defense only. I use it with an aim-style shield. Manny talked about this in one of his tutorials, and it's a great weapon, a great combo to use even in Champions League. But if you use it for close range, definitely use it with an aim-style shield. It's probably one of the strongest weapons you'll ever use on any league, and it's affordable. This is a definite must, just like the Flux. But you're going to want to use an aim-style shield with this the higher the league you go. That's my take on it. So Flux and Avenger are two definite must, along with Dragoon. Anyway, let's see here. The weapons we haven't seen. Here we go. Nashorn. It's a long-range weapon. Do I use two of these? Yes, I do. It's an old school weapon, but the sound of it is awesome, and I love the sound of this weapon. Would I use it in the higher leagues? Only for long-range snipers. but you really got to have this fully leveled and maxed out to get the benefit of the power of this weapon. But only use this for long-range sniper weapons. Have I used it on Raijin? Yeah, I have. I've used it on my Raijin, and I love it. I prefer it on Fury, but it still makes a great sound. I use this mainly for the sound, not the power. That's just who I am. I'm a balanced type. Does it get the job done with helping to support your team? You better believe it does, especially at the right timing, but you have to practice the timing on your shots. That's what I say about this weapon. It's not a full-blown brawler weapon, it's a sniper. All snipers do is practice their timing and their shooting. Thunder. I would use this only for brawling weapon, because the shorter range you go, the better the weapon is. So I would only use one of these when I Ansel shield the higher league you go. When it comes to the gold league or lower, go for it. With two of them, anything goes, you know. From gold league or lower, anything goes with this weapon. I mean, they say it's not as powerful, but I think you just need to be up close and personal, from 100 meters or closer, especially when it comes to a Raijin. And if you have your bash-in mode, you can still do considerable damage with this thing. That's my take on Thunder. Would I use it in Gold League? Yeah. Would I use it in Diamond League? Only if I felt like fooling around with it. I mean, when it comes to two of them, but would I use it with an Ansel shield in Diamond League? Yeah, but only for defending up close and personal. Nothing more than that. Helping your teammates out when they need it. I think it could be stronger, but hey, as long as it takes points out of your enemy, that's what matters. As long as you're having fun with this weapon, that's what matters. So I say experiment to your heart's content. Kang Day is a mid-range sniper weapon. Would I use two of these? I prefer Nashorn, but I would still use it. I would only use one of these with an Ansel shield in Expert to Gold League. Why? You're talking mid-range fighting here, especially on a Raijin. And since it's got a 6-second reload time, at least you got a fighting chance, but you're taking your chance the higher league you go. It's one of those type of weapons. These are the type of weapon you want to use in a long range, but since it's mid-range, go the distance with this weapon. Glory, it's the same as Raijin. I have tried this on test server. I do not have one for myself. I would say use it with an Ansel shield or an Avenger, especially with an Ansel shield. The higher the league you go, from Expert to Champions League. In Diamond League or lower, whatever you feel like using. Since this actually freezes your enemy, you might stand a chance with an Avenger on it, but only if you feel like taking the chance. That's my take on it. Do I plan on getting one for myself? I plan on getting two of them for myself and checking it out. Zenith, I've tried these out. They're not maxed out. Do I like them on my Raijin? No, I don't. If you're one of those type, I say go for it. But from Diamond League or lower, go for it. But from Expert to Gold League, I would say, why bother? You're just gonna get your butt kicked. That's my take on this weapon. It's a support weapon, nothing more, nothing less. And we're talking on Raijin here. Do I like this weapon? I prefer 3 of them on a Fury, nothing more, nothing less. Would I try it on? I've tried it on Raijin and I didn't like it. Viper, I've tried it only on test server. Do I plan on getting 2 of them? Yes, I do. Do I plan on keeping it on a Raijin, you better believe it. It's a long-range sniper type, or actually I think it's more of a mid-range, but with its ability, you can do some serious damage with this thing, even at mid-range. I plan on getting 2 of them and trying it out for myself in higher leagues. I'm planning on taking my chances and seeing what it's like. That's my take on it. With its ability, only time will tell. You have to try it out for yourself, I guess, you know. Since I don't have 2 of those and I've only tested it out in test server, I plan on trying it out. So that's my take on it. I think this weapon is really awesome and incredibly powerful. I put it in the same line as Dragoon and Avenger, even Flux. Ember, that's the same as using Exodus, in my opinion, or the other short range. I've already talked about short range before. Trebuchet I do not like, only on Butch or Fury. On a Raijin, no. I mean, if you like it, go for it, but only for long range. In the higher league you go, I would say use only one. Trident, it's coming out with a new ability. This is all about Raijin, and that's my take on everything. Since I'm a balanced type player, and I love using Raijin, well, now that you see my opinion on everything, I say first rule is experiment and have fun. See what works best for you. If you're a brawler, well, take Adrian's advice, but for a balanced type like myself, experiment. And I'm sure Adrian would agree. All you can do is experiment and try it out for yourself. But when it comes to battling, this robot is best used in team deathmatch. If you're going to use this robot in free-for-all, no, don't use it in free-for-all. If you're going to use it in beacon rush, use it for defense only. Nothing more, nothing less. You're going to get your butt kicked, but for defense only, in short range combat or mid range, but defense only. It's not recommended for beacon rush, but in team deathmatch, sky's the limit. That's a sniper type battle mode. That's my take on Raijin. It's best used for team deathmatch only, especially from expert to Champions League, especially even Diamond League. But for Gold League or lower, sky's the limit. Whatever you feel like using it with. That's my take, and please leave a like and please do consider subscribing, and I thank you. See you later in the next video.